Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz the Great.
Daz the Great, hey, debatable. We are the Office Blokes, and we've got a Patreon page that we want to talk all about, I guess.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Go to patreon.com, put in Office Blokes React. We've got a load of stuff on there, block content, exclusive videos. At the moment, we've got an exclusive question and answer session as well, haven't we? Session. And podcast as well.
Yep.
Exclusive just for patrons.
How often's the podcast out?
It's out every Friday.
He said it's already out. Did it come out Friday?
It will come out tomorrow, as we're recording this.
Yeah, right, I get what you meant now.
Yeah.
But it's out before.
Every Friday.
I thought it was Friday.
Yeah, absolutely all sorts on there. So if you want to support the channel, just for £1.50 is our lowest tier. A couple of dollars, go down there and check it out.
Cheap.
Fair enough. Right, the greatest speech in history, Alexander the Great and Opus Mutiny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Opus Mutiny.
I didn't realise they had recording devices back then.
Might have scribbled it down.
Yeah. And before someone says there was wax cylinders dating back 2,000 years and stuff. I know.
Unlikely.
It's true.
Is it?
To a degree, yeah. Although I never say anything's true on this channel because I always get slated. Yeah. Now I'm backtracking. Can you not tell? Anyway, I've got no idea about this one. So why did you queue it up, Dad?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I just thought the greatest speech in history. Better I'd be now.
Hey, we'll see.
There was I don't know if it was like a conspiracy theory or if it was just a theory or what. So I'm not stating this as fact. But someone said that behind, like, played low under some of Hitler's speeches were frequencies that made people feel uncomfortable, just sort of blasted out that you might not necessarily be able to hear, but it makes people just feel edgy, and then people are standing there in the crowd moving about a bit, and it's a way of like artificially building atmosphere.
Makes sense.
Don't know how true. I've heard.
Makes sense though, doesn't it?
Yeah, because there are frequencies you can play that you might not be able to hear as such, but you can perceive them and they'll just make you feel weird.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's probably one of these widely debunked ones that I heard at the pub once. But
I would probably, yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it. The greatest speech in history, Alexander the Great and the Opus Mutiny.
What I'm about to say isn't meant to stop you returning home. As far as I care, you can go wherever you wish. But I want you to know how you have behaved towards me, and how I have treated you. I'll begin, as is right, with my father, Philip. When he found you, you were mere peasants, wearing hides, tending a few sheep on the mountain slopes, and you could barely defend them from your neighbors. Under him, you began living in cities, with good laws and customs, and he turned you from slaves into rulers over those very barbarians who used to plunder your land. He conquered most of Thrace, taking the best harbors so there was trade and prosperity, and put the mines to steady work. The Thessalians, they used to terrify you. Well, we rule them now. The Athenians and Thebans, always looking for a chance to attack Macedonia, were so humbled, myself playing my small part in the war, that they no longer take tribute from Macedonia, but instead depend upon us for their protection. My father went to the Peloponnese and put their house in order. Then he was declared supreme commander of all the Greeks for the campaign against the Persians. An honor not just for himself, but for all Macedonians. This is what my father Philip did for you. Great enough on its own, but small compared to what you've gained from me. I crossed the Hellespont, even though back then the Persians still commanded the sea. I defeated the satraps of the great King Darius, and made you rulers of Ionia, Aeolis, Phrygia, and Lydia, and took Miletus by siege. The rest of the land surrendered willingly, and their wealth became yours. All the riches of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight, are yours now. Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all belong to you. The wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the jewels of India and the outer sea. You are now satraps. You are generals and captains. What have I held back for myself apart from this purple cloak and diadem? Nothing. No man can point to my riches, only the things I hold in trust for you all. And what would I do with them anyway? I eat what you eat. I get no more rest than you. Many times I have spent the night on watch so that you could sleep soundly. Who among you believes he's worked harder for me than I have for him? Come on! If you've got scars, strip and show them to me. I'll show you mine. There isn't one part of my body, the front at least, that doesn't bear a wound. My body's covered in scars from every weapon you can think of. Swords, arrows, stones, clubs. All for the sake of your lives, your glory, and your wealth. And yet here I still am, leading you, as conqueror of land and sea, rivers, mountains, and the plains. We've celebrated our weddings together. Many of your children will be cousins of my own. I've paid off your debts without asking how you got them, even though you're paid well enough and pillage every city we take. Many of you wear golden crowns, badges of courage and honor given you by me.
I'm getting pumped up.
Same. All I'm going through my mind is we need someone like this right now in our government.
I didn't really want to pause it, but if I didn't, we just sat watching someone's video. I mean,
history's just like amazing, isn't it?
I don't know much about Macedonia and all that sort of stuff.
No, same here.
Well, that was all Greece and Turkey, wasn't it, where it all started?
Yeah. You can't beat a good speech, can you?
There's
been a few in history, wasn't there? You know, speeches are absolutely iconic, aren't they? Some of them.
Well, they recognise as the greatest, mate.
So they do indeed, yeah. We'll be the judge of that, won't we?
I think coming off the back of just having executed 13 of them in front of them, though, and now they might be a bit more willing to hear the speech.
Isn't it? If you're executing them and saying these did wrong,
you're executing the ringleaders of the mutiny, which I get. And then to then go on and just say, I am you.
Yeah.
You know, we're the same. I'm no better than you. Yeah. And that thing about point to my riches, you know, all I've got is my cloak and I'm a custodian of all the nice things.
I mean, it's not like 20 countries as well, but
that's not. I mean,
he's letting them pillage them, and he's saying you got all the riches from that.
I think he's talking about his personal wealth. It's like, you know, I'm not sat on a golden throne lording over you. I'm one of you.
Yeah, I'm in the mix with it with you guys.
Yep.
One of the best things a politician can ever do is be one of the people and be perceived as such. In it,
so far from it, though. So far from it.
Oh, I know.
They live in a whole little different world now.
None of them ever have been, though, have they? I don't think.
I don't
really know. That you really think, they're one of us.
I can't wait for the elections, mate.
Yeah, no.
Can't wait.
No, I think anyone who wants to go into politics should have to do a form of national service where you have to work a minimum wage job for a few years before you're allowed to go into politics and survive on that and that alone.
No chance. Not going to happen.
It'd never happen because they all come from loads of money.
Not here anyway.
That'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Well, it would, because you actually feel the struggle of the common person, and then you can dictate what's going to happen.
Yeah, you actually know what it feels like, don't you?
Yeah.
But we need
go
someone
through
like
it
this right now.
I know.
Good luck with that one.
We'd have a revolution if we had someone like this. Imagine if this was just some guy in the street getting everyone fired up.
Hey, yeah.
You'd get arrested.
He would, Fake news. Get deplatformed.
Courage and honor given you by me. Any one of us who was killed, who met a glorious end, we buried with full honors. Many now stand immortalized by bronze statues in Macedonia. Their families are honored and pay no taxes. Under my command, not one man has been killed fleeing the enemy. And now, I wanted to send back some of you who've been wounded or crippled, or have grown old, to be welcomed back home as heroes. But since you all wish to go, then all of you, go! Go home and tell them that your king, Alexander, conqueror of the Persians, Medes, Bactrians, and Scythians, who now rules over the Parthians, Chorasmians, and Hyrcanians as far as the Caspian Sea, who's marched over the mountains of the Hindu Kush, crossed the Oxus and Tanais rivers, even the Indus, first to cross it since Dionysus himself. I would have crossed the Hyphasis too if you hadn't cowered in fear. Who sailed into the Great Sea from the mouth of the Indus. Who crossed the desert of Gadrosia, where no one had ever led an army. Who took Carmenia, while my fleet sailed the Persian Gulf. When you get home, you tell them that when you made it back to Susa, you abandoned him and went home, leaving him under the protection of the foreigners you'd conquered. Perhaps this report of yours will seem glorious in the eyes of men, and worthy in the eyes of the gods. Be gone!
Thank you to all the Patreon supporters who helped create this video.
That was great, that.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. That was absolutely brilliant.
That's a speech and a half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If that doesn't get you going, nothing will.
Yeah.
It's an amazingly well-produced video there as well. So
Yeah,
everyone go to that channel and subscribe, because
That's really good.
not that he needs it, it's getting a shitload more views than
I
we
would
do.
imagine,
That was just like proper, like,
I know.
what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, really like powerful.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was 32. Only young guy as well.
Yeah, really young. I mean, he's all over the place,
For
wasn't
what
he?
he's achieved.
Yeah, absolutely massive.
I think, you know, life expectancy wasn't always 70, 80,
No,
stuff
no,
like
no,
that.
no.
So, like, to die on the battlefield age 25 in a glorious death is probably better than withering away when you're 37. You know what I mean? There's a bit of a different perspective, isn't it?
Just a
He was
bit.
32.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, your average person may have lived to 37, 40, 45, something like that. So the idea of going to war and dying on the battlefield isn't as scary.
I mean,
This guy conquered fucking everywhere, didn't he?
He must have had a huge army to cover that amount of land and take over that many countries.
Well,
I mean,
at sea as well.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I guess a lot of people in the countries that they sort of like conquer, they join up as well, I suppose.
probably.
I guess. So just swell
They'd
the
have
armies
to,
that are going
wouldn't they?
along. Yeah, I mean, look at the distances
or
they
die,
covered.
innit?
It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Proper, I mean, that's so well produced, that the music and the visuals and stuff, and I'm pumped.
Ready to go now.
Really was good, that. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.